a little bit better in the final version where we actually put an air cannon behind the door and blow the thing up. And this cornball, attempt is, oh, there it is. That's the trainer holding up I think it's some kind of a stuffed rabbit or something, trying to lure Gordon out the window. Gordon loves stuffed rabbits, or whatever the heck toy it was. And there he goes. Of course, you can see his tail come up, so he's only jumping that little way out and caught on the mattress. But that is a nice breakaway. Even the second try. Well, there's a third sort of try. That's okay. Second trainer comes and recaptures Gordon, and there you go. Here's the other side. Gordon helps himself out a little bit, but does take the dive. In the end, we made it of a couple of pieces. There you go. That's Rob, or actually a stuntman doing an impression of Rob going through the window there. Okay, throwing the thing over, but ultimately the composition, was such that we wouldn't have wanted to stay on that. He locked him almost trapped himself in the door. Crispin nailed to the doorway, ripped away. Now, we used an insert in the final version of his hand, so you could see the hand being literally torn by the spike that's through it. So that's intended to be both sides of the cut, but the close-up on the hand is what you needed to be able to sell. And there is, of course, Crispin being Crispin. Oh, there she goes. That's, as you can tell, undercranked, so she seems to be falling out faster than she did, and matching the position that she fell in. There you go. Pretty brutal at that speed, but looks unreal. Looks fake at that speed. So we ultimately used something that seemed more realistic. That drop wasn't used. The splitting of the hand, which I actually sat in the movie theater on opening day and heard a fan, after Jason's hand was split by this machete, a fan sitting in front of me said, "Now Jason's mad," as if all the other things that happened to him really didn't impress him. There you go, the splitting of the hand, again done in reverse action. And there is the hideous split hand, a little too crude. As you can see, Kimberly is in character from before she starts, gets a little blood in her eye, but there she goes, the trooper goes again. There's Ted, who, in to his credit, encouraged the actors to really encounter him and, whack him with whatever it is they were using. So Ted took a lot of beating on behalf of the film and has helped the film tremendously by doing that. We knew the unmasking of Jason was going to be a very important piece. The dropping of the mask and how it would fall, of course, because the iconic mask had to land just where we needed it to land. So many false attempts on these things until we got the one that we ultimately used. There you go. It was not used with a foot pushing it into position, I might add, yeah. Oh, there you go. Reverse action of the machete in Jason's head. Ted requesting it a little higher. And so there you go. Little Corey has to be able to maneuver this per direction. But Ted is really playing the scene perfectly as he falls. Again, these are issues of lighting, and the way you're seeing it here, it would not be the way we finally color timed it for the film. But also, we need to keep much of this in the dark so that you can't see the details of the way the effect is done. And there always is way more blood than we could possibly use, but there are a few of you out there that think otherwise. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Pulling the thing out and putting it back in. No, as we've discussed earlier, the puppet is really manipulated by lots of people. Make it bleed, manipulate the tongue, facial movement. It does all kinds of things. So, had we used just a tiny piece of that, there you are. And this gets even more hideous because it really separates from the yeah, it's the skull totally separates. We could have cut a version that would have been believable. Of course, when you see it in the long form like this, it's not believable. But we could have cut a version using just a few frames of that would have been believable, but way too hideous for most audience.